You're looking at a daily chart of the S&P 500 index. And I just wanted to show this to you because this is not an index that I really follow, but I just wanted to illustrate the differences between this index and the Nasdaq. We know the Nasdaq topped back in here in late November 22nd. And S&P went on to make new highs after that and topped in early January. So it's 6 weeks or so behind. But remember, this contains the energy stocks, the oil and gas stocks, and the Nasdaq doesn't. So it rallied. When it rallied through the 50 and through the 200 before it had another leg down. Now we see as it makes this new low here at 36.38, during this most recent rally, it has not rallied back up to the 50. It's just above the 21 EMA. Whereas we take a look at the Nasdaq right now, this is right up against the 50. And this is a critical point for the Nasdaq. You can see it's since July, it's been up every day, but in decreasing volume. We want to see this index rally through the 50 with increasing volume here, not decreasing volume. And maybe we can have a tradable rally, up to the 200, or who knows, maybe it goes through and makes a new high. And quite possibly it gets rejected here and makes a new low. We don't know. We'll stay open-minded and flexible, but you can see the high here was made back in November. And since it sliced its 200 simple moving average, sliced the 50 here, the 200, only one time has it rallied back through the 50. And that was back in that March rally where it sold off. So this is the second time in 2022 it's been able to manage to make its way back up to the 50. So this is a critical week coming up here. We'll see what the Nasdaq does. I gauge the market by looking at leading stocks, and I'm going to go through some of the biotech and medical stocks, some solar, and China and healthcare stocks, and just some random stocks that are performing well. Vertex, obviously one. I like the weekly chart on this because it shows this deep, long base. This is a couple of years in the making. So Vertex, if this thing can pop through 306, that looks very strong. It's making new highs. United Therapeutics, again, making new highs. You can see the earnings here, $20 in earnings. So these stocks have fundamentals and it's in a power trend. And this is what you like to see in leading stocks. Eli Lilly, another one with the powerful earnings, strong fundamentals, in a power trend here where the 10 is above the 21 and they're both above the 50 and just trending in the right direction. I judge the markets by how the leading stocks are doing, and the leading stocks are performing well. This one just blasted through a buy point last week on Thursday and followed through gains on Friday. Again, I like the weekly chart here. It shows this nice long consolidation pattern in Halo. What was the other one here I was looking at? Oh yeah, this one is really strong as well. This is the daily chart. You can see it is in a power trend too, pulled back to the 10 EMA on Friday. I believe the first pullback here is probably going to be find support and be a little gift here. This one was back at 52 in November of 2020. So this is 18, 19 months base here. So Harmony Biosciences looks good as well. KRTX, this one's had a lot of insider buying, and you can see the double bottom base here. This one's, I don't want to get too cocky here, but I think this one's ready to break out near a buy point also. That's Karuna Therapeutics. Keep your eye on that one. BioMarin is not one that I really follow, but I did notice on my charts, my scans, that this one had broken out here. I missed it completely, but it is showing strength after this massive sell-off. It's been sideways for 2 years, and now it's starting to move. So those things you got to take note of, and it's still in a buy zone. That'll probably be on the watch list come Monday. SIGA is one that I'm watching. This is news driven. It's got the monkeypox vaccine. So anytime that news story comes up, this thing pops. it's finding support. It's making higher lows and finding support at its 10 EMA. You could see it traded down there on Friday, but the RS line is showing strength here. And you can see that this one just popped recently on volume. The volume just came in recently due to the news. Anyway, let's take a couple solar stocks here. Jinko Solar, this is a China-based solar play. You can see it's been in a long consolidation period. Back from October of 2020, it was a $90 stock, formed this long base and is just starting to come out of it here on the weekly chart. That one looks good. DQ is another one. It's China-based solar play. You can see here another long base. This stock, was a $130 stock back in, well, the China market topped in February of 2021. So these are rebound plays. They're nice rounding base. This one looks good. On a daily chart, it looks extended, but if you look at the weekly, it still looks good. This is one that I have on our top pick list. This is trading kind of wild for my taste. You can see on the weekly a double bottom and it's starting to tighten up. But on the daily, it's pretty wild. Traded down to its 50 and found support, recently. So this one's looking good as well. And I put this one on just because it's a solar play and it kind of trades with end phase. You can see the long base. This was a $377 stock back in January of 2021. So it's been a long time. These things have consolidated. There's a couple of healthcare stocks that are performing well. I don't particularly like these stocks because they're slower movers, but you can see they're forming these nice bases here. United Health, I believe they have earnings coming up. July 15th. Cigna is another one that's performing well. I mean, you can't beat that. This thing is consolidated nicely and now it's in a power trend. It's a little safer stock. They have a lot of earnings, $25 in earnings, and they just don't move like I like them to move. But the healthcare doing well. Humana is another one. You can see this has a long base. I mean, this was a $474 stock, 2 years ago, November of 2020. So it's been in a long consolidation period, and they're starting to move out. For those of you who like that kind of thing, Monster. This is on our watch list here because this thing has been consolidating for a long time as well, since April of 21. You can see the double bottom base here on the weekly chart. Here it's a little more pronounced on the daily, and this thing is showing strength as it builds the right side of its base. Celsius is another one that's pretty popular. You can see it's got a long consolidation period here, and that's what you look for. The stocks can't go up forever and they need to base. And a lot of these stocks have formed bases. Funko is another one, just a leisure toy stock. It looks better on the weekly, I think. Needs this nice symmetrical base here. This thing looks like it's ready to break out as well. Sierra Wireless is another stock that looks good. It's consolidated for a long time. It was $22 back in January of 2001. So, this has been, 18 months in the making here, and that maybe it can break out. This one looks like it might be better on the monthly. Oh boy. Yeah. So that's one to watch. Definitely. Computer networking, they haven't been real strong. You can see the group is 155 out of 197, but that one is certainly showing some strength. And Lantheus is a medical product stock. This one is showing strength as well. Getting support at its 50 simple moving average. What are you doing, Marty? Oh, I know what I'm looking for. Yeah, Evelyn, there you go. This one, it looks better. It's on our watch list, and you can see it's consolidated for a long time, since October of 21. It's formed this a cup with handle pattern, a long pattern there. So that one looks good to me as well. There's just a lot of stocks setting up. I'm trying to pick the best ones for our watch list. You don't always know which ones are going to move on any given day, but these ones look good. This is another one. This was a $50 stock back in July of 21. So it's been a year. It's forming this base here. It's got some earnings, got some solid revenue growth. Recently, it made this nice symmetrical base here with this handle and exploded out of it the last 4 days with volume. So that one looks good as well. Anyway, gauge the markets by how leading stocks are performing. And I just showed you a ton of leading stocks that are performing well, and we never give up.